In this video, I will demonstrate how to set up a variety of zero-touch configurations and other settings on InControl 2. The zero-touch configuration essentially is a method that allows you to configure your Peplink ecosystem for various applications remotely. InControl simplifies this form of network management by aggregating network information and presenting them in easy-to-read reports. You can now push configurations and firmware updates to hundreds of devices with the click of a button and apply schedules to SSIDs, Wi-Fi radios, and SD switch ports. There are a wide variety of different features and applications included in Peplink's zero-touch configuration through InControl 2. 7 features to be exact. This includes bulk configuration, remote device IP configuration, bulk outbound policy configuration, bulk firewall policy configuration, centralized firmware management, centralized SSID options, and finally customized captive portals. First, I'll start off with the bulk configuration features. Bulk configuration is the option that allows you to manage all your Peplink devices that are connected to the same network simultaneously. This is achieved by pushing a master config file to all your devices. This feature is commonly used in businesses and institutions that are using multiple Peplink devices in their network. By using this feature, businesses and institutions can conveniently manage all their routers with the click of a button. Now I'll begin the demo. The first thing you need to do is log into InControl. I'll start off by introducing how to set up the bulk configurator. To enable this, you need to head to Settings, then head to Bulk Configurator. Then you can press Upload New Config File. Here you can upload the config file that you want to install on all your devices. You can also select which device you want to upload it on, and also schedule the date and time that you want the config file to be uploaded. Next, I'll go through the remote device IP configuration. Remote device IP configuration is a feature that makes it easy to manage specific devices by using the IP address of your device. This can be done remotely and involves pushing a pre-built config file to your Peplink device with the specified IP address. This feature is also commonly used in businesses and institutions that want to manage devices with a specific IP address, like for example, the devices from a branch office or a specific department. To set up the remote device IP configuration, head to the Settings tab again. This time you want to click on Device IP Settings. Here you can import your IP settings. A template for each device series is also provided. Once you have the IP settings ready, you can go ahead and upload and push the configuration to multiple devices. Now I'll be going over the bulk outbound policy configuration. Bulk outbound policy configuration provides the opportunity for you to apply traffic steering rules from a master config file, which can be pushed to multiple Peplink devices at the same time. This feature can be used in every industry or even personal networks, as different users have different network priorities and requirements. To enable bulk outbound policy configuration, first you need to go to the Network Settings tab at the top. Then, click on Outbound Policy and tick the box, Manage Outbound Policy on Balance and Max Devices. After that, you can go down and press Edit. This will cause a pop-up window to appear, where you can control the preservation of outbound policy on devices. The default setting is for the outbound policy rules to be preserved on the device rather than being cleared out. Once you've done that, you can click Save. Then click Create Rule Set. This will open a window called Group Setting Outbound Policy. Here you can set the outbound policy rule that you want and the devices it applies to. After you fill in the required section, click Add Rule. Then another window will pop up, allowing you to customize the enablement, source, destination, protocol, algorithm, local distributed weight, and availability. Keep in mind that the algorithms are what determines how the traffic is distributed. The different algorithm options are the weighted balance algorithm, which allows you to distribute the traffic across different WAN links based on their weight. Their individual weight is a priority ratio that you can designate for each WAN connection. This algorithm is commonly used in cases where a user needs to assign more traffic to a faster WAN connection, or send less traffic to a connection with a bandwidth cap. The priority algorithm, which is another algorithm, allows you to route traffic to your preferred link as long as it is available. Priority links need to be arranged from highest to lowest priority. The priority algorithm is commonly used for scenarios where a user has a main WAN connection to use and leaves a secondary WAN connection as a backup connection. The enforced algorithm is an algorithm that restricts outbound traffic to a particular connection, regardless of whether that specific link is up or down. This algorithm is commonly used for scenarios where users only have access to a specific IP or to a server. This algorithm can also be used in conjunction with priority, meaning that selected traffic can be routed across VPN connections with a priority and enforced algorithm. The low latency algorithm is another algorithm where all new traffic is assigned to the fastest connection based on the connection latency time. The fastest connection is determined at predefined time intervals, during which test data is sent to all healthy connections to calculate their respective latency times. This is commonly used for time-sensitive applications such as professional online gaming. The overflow algorithm is another option that prevents traffic flow from slowing down when the connection runs out of available bandwidth. The overflow algorithm is most commonly used in cases where available bandwidth is low, but the performance of the network cannot be jeopardized. This is especially important for maintaining traffic flow speeds. This algorithm can also be used with the least used algorithm and the lowest latency algorithm to ensure optimal utilization of all WANs. The next algorithm is the persistence algorithm. This is similar to the overflow algorithm in that it prevents traffic flow from slowing down when the connection runs out of available bandwidth. The key difference is that the specified types of traffic to be routed through the WAN links is based on the source or destination IP address. This algorithm is commonly used for eliminating the possibility of session termination related issues for e-banking, HTTPS, and other secure websites. The least used algorithm is when you route traffic to the most available WAN link according to the download usage. This algorithm is commonly used to ensure that the user is routing traffic using the connection with the most available bandwidth. And finally, the fastest response time algorithm sends the traffic through the fastest connection based on session response from that destination. This algorithm is quite popular for online gaming as well, since it is ideal for time-sensitive applications. Once you've selected your algorithm and input the additional information, you can go ahead and save the settings. Moving on to the bulk firewall policy configuration. This is the ability to extract firewall policies from a config file to apply to your Peplink devices. This is especially useful for industries that have a specific firewall requirement, such as the finance sector, and are utilizing multiple Peplink routers in their network. This way, the specific firewall requirements can be met and installed on all Peplink devices at the same time. This can also be beneficial for individuals who are trying to achieve a very secure network. To apply the bulk firewall policy configuration, you first need to head to the Network Settings tab on the top, and then click on Firewall Rule. This will take you to a page where you need to select the devices that the firewall applies to, and below that you can find the section to apply a configuration file containing a rule set. After uploading the file, you'll have the option for device selection and the option to further choose the outbound, inbound, and internal network firewall rules, as well as enable the intrusion detection and DOS prevention. Click Save after setting up the configuration options. As for the centralized firmware management feature, as the name suggests, this is a configuration that will allow you to create and manage firmware policies for your Peplink ecosystem. One of the key elements of this feature is that it includes scheduling firmware updates for all your Peplink devices. This feature is extremely useful for users that have implemented multiple Peplink devices into their network infrastructure and want all their devices to be up to date. This is also useful for industries that cannot have any downtime in their network and can only install firmware updates on their routers during specific periods of time. Now, to set up the centralized firmware management configuration, click on the Settings tab on the top and head down to Firmware Policy. This will take you to a page where all the devices in your organization will be listed along with their respective firmware. Here you can select which firmware you want your product to use, which product you want to upgrade, and you can even include custom firmware if necessary. Once you've done that, you can also select the schedule and then click Save Changes. For the next feature, I'll be focusing on the centralized SSID options. With this feature, you can create and manage network Wi-Fi options. This includes SSID, security options, and more. This is a crucial feature for all users and is applicable to all industries. This feature is commonly used to customize the network SSID and implementing a password-protected wireless network. To control the SSID option feature, head to the Wi-Fi AP tab at the top. Then, click on Group-Wide SSID Settings. On this page, you can enable Device Schedule Management. Then you can press Add. This will open a pop-up window where you can define the custom schedule. After you click Save, you'll have the option to configure your SSID settings, such as choosing the devices to broadcast the SSID. At the bottom, you can also select the previously defined schedule. The final feature of the zero-touch configuration is the customized captive portal. This allows users to create, manage, and completely customize landing pages for their network. Not only are users given the chance to design their landing page, but they can also add different settings, such as enabling social Wi-Fi login for guests. This feature is useful for industries that have a specific network for guests and would be applicable in areas such as airports, shopping malls, and even offices. To set up the captive portal, head to the Network Settings tab at the top, and then click on Captive Portals. This will lead you to the page where you can set up new captive portals. We provide a variety of access modes such as social Wi-Fi login, open access, guest account login, token, email, and even SMS. Also, if you click Preview and Customization on the bottom left, you'll be able to preview the custom portal and customize the entire custom portal screen to your liking. This includes selecting the text, font, colors, and background for the custom portal.